Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful personal philosophy, one that flips the script on how we think about conflict. It asks us to stop thinking about the art of war and start thinking about the art of understanding. So let's just start with this question, because it really makes you stop and think. From day one, we're taught that in any kind of conflict, any disagreement, the whole point is to come out on top, right? To win. But what if that's not the goal at all? What if the real purpose is something else entirely? And this is the heart of it. It's a huge shift in perspective. The point of understanding your enemy, and that could be a business rival, a difficult colleague, or even a part of yourself you struggle with, it isn't about finding a weak spot to exploit. It's about finding that shared humanity. You're not building a battering ram, you're building a bridge. All right, Section 1, the Shapeshifter's Survival. So where does a worldview like this even come from? Well, it turns out it was born from a very real, very personal need to adapt. The author talks about developing what they call a multi-shade personality. Now, this isn't about being fake or two-faced. It's about what happens when you have to survive and exist in completely different worlds, different countries, different cultures, different social classes. Each new landscape demanded a new shade of your personality, just to connect and, well, survive. So this completely reframes what we think of as shape-shifting. It's not about running away from who you are. It's a survival skill. It's about learning to listen, to adapt, and to genuinely connect with a new place so you can understand it from the inside, not just as an outsider looking in. Okay, Section 2, from flaw to forte. This is where it gets really interesting. It's about taking a past that might feel messy or inconsistent and seeing it as an incredible source of strength. And this is the core metaphor right here, the big transformation. You might look at your past and see Swiss cheese, full of holes, gaps, maybe things that don't quite add up. It feels like a weakness. But this idea flips that on its head. It says, no, that's not Swiss cheese. That's a Swiss Army knife. It's not a flaw, it's a hidden strength, packed with versatile tools because of its complexity, not in spite of it. So what are the actual tools inside the Swiss Army knife? Well, they're the very things forged in that complicated past. It's being multicultural, maybe multilingual. It's having this incredibly deep well of experiences to draw from. And it's that hard-earned skill of being able to move between totally different groups of people and just get it. That's the power of what's called a multi-layered heart. Now for Section 3, repair, don't replace. So we've looked inward. How does this philosophy change how we deal with other people? Especially people who we might see as damaged or, broken. I love this tractor metaphor because it gets right to the point. We live in such a disposable world. When something breaks, our first instinct is to just toss it and get a new one. And sometimes we do that with people. This philosophy says, no, wait, take the other path, the path of repair. See the value that's still there and the potential for loyalty in something or someone that just needs a little work. So what does this art of repair actually look like in practice? It's basically a three-step process. First, you have to see the potential beyond the problem, beyond the broken tractor. Second, you have to actively choose to repair, to put in the time and understanding instead of just walking away. And the result? You don't just get a fixed machine, you create a good running and loyal machine. You build loyalty. So the whole point is this. It's about training yourself to see what someone could be, not just what their mistakes have shown you. It's about looking right through the negativity they might be putting out there and finding the core human potential that's hiding underneath. It's a really profound act of empathy when you think about it. Okay, our final section, the story in our scars. We're going to turn this whole lens right back around onto ourselves with a really beautiful and poetic way of looking at our own personal history. This philosophy uses some amazing wordplay to unpack the past. It starts with mystery. Say it out loud. Mystery. This represents the origin of our pain, the thing that hurt us, maybe so long ago that we don't even remember why. It's just a mystery, a barren place in our memory. And from that mystery, from Miss Tori, we get mistress. But think of it as missed stress. This is the pain that was never dealt with. It's the fallout from that original mystery. It's the unaddressed, unprocessed pain that kind of haunts us. So what happens when you put them both together? You take the mystery, Miss Tori, and the missed stress, the mistress. Put them together and you get his story. You get history. Our personal history isn't just a list of events. It's the story we weave from our deepest mysteries and our most persistent, unaddressed pains. Which leaves us with this one last really powerful question for you to think about. If your past sometimes feels like that Swiss cheese full of holes and pain and mystery, how can you start using this art of understanding to see it as a Swiss Army knife instead? How can you see the potential hidden inside your own history? Because by understanding the story in your scars, you don't make them disappear, but you just might be able to transform them from a source of pain into your greatest, most unique source of strength.